We are back with a whole set of new guests, and this week we have Tommy Longhurst, the frontman of the band Only the Poets. Now tell me a little bit about Only the Poets. Who are you guys? What's your sound?
So we are a four-piece like indie pop band from Reading. Well, two of us are from Reading and two of the boys are from a little bit far out, like London and Oxfordshire, but mainly the band was born in Reading.
And how did you guys get together?
I was a solo artist beforehand and basically just I spent a lot of my sort of teenage years going to Reading Festival, which is just down the road from us, obviously, and just sort of falling in love with the idea of doing it in a band, and I started to listen to bands religiously, and so I basically started writing music because I was already writing as like a solo artist. Just sort of thought I'd try the whole band thing, and wrote loads of music. Then I had a friend, Andy, who's the bass player now, who unfortunately his band he was in, who I really liked, split up, and I was like, well, I mean, he's a great bass player, so let's see if he wants to start jamming with me. Yeah, he's been in the band from the very start. But Marcus and Jared came in about a year and a half ago, and we had like crossed paths at like, you know, parties and gatherings and stuff, and they'd been to some of our shows, and we basically just, the crazy thing about it is that they came in and it just clicked, which felt amazing from the off, really. And that will be it now. That's the four locked in.
The lineup is closed. I think that's nice, though, you know. It's nice to have a connection. I think it comes through in the music when you guys are actually close as a group.
Yeah, and you have to, because you spend an awful lot of time together, you just have to get on. You can't really have any clashes of personality because, you know, when you're touring, it's you're spending every hour of every day with each other. And we never fall out, touch wood, ever fall out. So, yeah, it's amazing, man. They're like we're all best mates, and our manager and our tour manager and our tech, we're all like a little family, and that's what makes it even more enjoyable.
And it's been quite a big year for you as well. You guys were like handpicked to support Louis Tomlinson on the European and UK leg of his tour. What was that like? Because I know it was cut short.
Oh God, it was incredible. I mean, like, we'd never really experienced anything like that. We've been lucky enough to do like headline tours and some support tours previously, but nothing as big as that. First time in Europe as well, and it was just incredible. I mean, we played in Barcelona to 3,000 people, and it was just, I mean, I just can't even put into words what it was like. It was just incredible, so welcoming as well. Played to like pretty much a full venue, which when you're a support act doesn't always happen. But I think because of the nature of like One Direction / Louis Tomlinson fans, I think they're so excited to see him. They get there early, so that's great for us because we played, like I said, in front of like pretty much a full room, and it was incredible. And then we obviously went to Madrid, and that's when it all started going a bit wrong because obviously COVID was like really getting bad then. So we did the Madrid show, which again was incredible, but then we had to fly back, unfortunately. So yeah, 2 shows in, and then it got cancelled.
That's so annoying because it's such a cool, such a big event, and then for it to get cancelled. But it's been postponed, right?
It's been postponed, yeah. So I think the reason why it was made more difficult is because we went from like, you know, we'd done those incredible shows. We flew home, and then we were in lockdown like 5 days later. So it was the complete, like, you know, the week before I was like, I'm literally like, oh my God, we were literally in Barcelona playing in front of like, you know, thousands of people, and now we're like not allowed to go outside. Like, it made the kind of whole Corona thing a bit tougher as well, because we were just like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. But we feel very fortunate because we've got something to look forward to. Like, a lot of poor bands out there at the minute who don't have things like that to look forward to. I do feel very sorry for, and yeah, I've got a lot of respect for the bands that are going to carry through this, because it's going to be so difficult because the music industry is going to suffer massively. But like you said, it's postponed. We've got it. It's February next year, fingers crossed, so a year later. And they've added a few shows as well on like this. We're going to Italy now, which we weren't due to go to. So yeah, let's hope it happens, and it'll be incredible.
My fingers are crossed for you.
Yeah, thank you.
The question I think everyone wants to know, what is Louis like? What was it like to work with him?
Oh, he's just so normal. I cannot stress enough. Like, we've been lucky enough to meet quite a few musicians, and most of the time, you know, they're all really lovely. Like, thus far, the people I've met. But he, and I'm not just saying this, was the most sort of welcoming and the most friendly I've ever because we basically supported him in London during the Brits week prior to being selected for the tour. So we got on that show, and then he watched our set, and I think that's when he made his decision, because on the mic that night, he was like, "Oh, we should get Only the Poets on the Europe and UK tour," and we had no idea. So at this point, we were in the crowd. We were like, "Oh my God, what's going on? This is crazy." But then after the show, we met him, and he was very down to earth and just basically told us how much he was into what we did. And, you know, he's a similar age to us, and he's a lovely guy. And then in Barcelona, I got a little bit drunk, and I was like, "I'm gonna go say thank you to him," to our manager. And my manager was like, "Shall we?" And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I went backstage, and then we ended up hanging out for like 2 hours, and I sat on the sofa with him for like an hour talking about music and football. And yeah, honestly, just an absolute diamond of a guy.
And you'll be back hopefully in February, but in the meantime, you're doing some socially distanced gigs, is that right?
Yeah. So we basically we just had an idea to do these like park shows, because we were like, you know, like we're not breaking the rules, because as long as people are socially distant, it's just like you walking into a park and seeing loads of people sat down anyway, you know. So I'm basically just gonna get a guitar. We've got a little travel amp, and we're doing Oxford, Reading and London. So yeah, I'm buzzing. And we basically put up a free ticket link, and it's all sold out, because we wanted to cap it. We didn't want it to get too silly numbers wise, just because we didn't want it to become like difficult for people to distance. But yeah, we've done a lot of tickets. So I'm really excited for them. It's gonna be so fun to like play in front of like people again, because all I've been doing for the past 6 months is singing on Instagram Live. Do you know what I mean?
It makes a difference for the crowd, doesn't it? It makes a huge difference.
And it's not just it's not, you know, it's not all of us as well. It's just me. So I'm just really excited to get back to playing with the lads. Although we have just announced we're doing a social distance proper show in October at this small venue. So yeah, we've started to get things in the diary now, and you know, we're just trying to make the most of like being able to perform for our following in times like these when it's really difficult.
So tons to look forward to. Just before you go, you've also been releasing some new music recently.
We, unfortunately, this time last year, we found ourselves in an incredibly difficult situation where we used to work with a couple of producers, and it all went a bit sour, and it all got really nasty, and basically we found ourselves in a legal battle. Luckily, we got out of it, but my God, was it close to not being the case. And the band was going to end without our, you know, wasn't in our power, you know, and my mental health was on the absolute floor because I was so gutted. And I wrote a song called Waking in the Dark back then.
Through the chaos and the calm, we keep waking in the dark.
Didn't really plan to release it, and then obviously COVID hit, and I just sat back and thought, there's going to be a lot of people right now struggling, so why not release a song about my own kind of struggles with it that also talks about it, because Waking in the Dark, it sort of talks about mental health, but in quite an optimistic kind of way. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, don't worry, I felt like this, and you're not alone in feeling like, if you're feeling like this, you're absolutely not alone. And I'm sure you can, I mean, I'm sure you probably had some bad days in the you know, the peak of the virus, because it's, people were like, oh, wait, you know, you couldn't go out, you couldn't see your friends. It was horrible, wasn't it? So that was basically the thinking behind releasing that. And the reaction was incredible. I mean, we had some really sort of, heartwarming messages from people just saying how it's helped them. And that was exactly what we wanted to do, to raise the conversation, because we've got a platform. And I don't think enough artists do that. And then we've just announced our debut EP, and it's called Speak Out, and it's all about, you know, making sure you're heard, linked back to this legal situation. Like, you know, it's all about kind of getting messed around, which I'm sure everyone has in some form in their life. It's a running theme really of like, speak out, make sure you let your voice be heard. So yeah.
Which is amazing. And, you know, things happen for a reason. And say if that legal battle didn't happen with you, you wouldn't have had the inspiration, and then you wouldn't have had these songs. So everything kind of works out in the end, I think.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly it. You know, you go through as a musician and as a songwriter, like, you write about the great things that happen to you, but also you do sometimes when you go through hardship, you come out the other side with great songs, because you're writing from a really honest, you know, you're writing in a really honest way. And like, yeah, it's definitely the deepest selection of songs I've ever written. I mean, a couple of them are pretty depressing, but you know, it's like I said, it's important to talk about, and we're very proud of that work, of that body of work, and yeah, so we're going to release that in December. So yeah, exciting.
Amazing. Well, exciting times. Good luck with the music. Good luck with all the shows, and thank you for chatting to me.
No worries. Thank you for your time as well.